Hello, computer applications students. Anytime you are using some of the Cengage products, you sometimes see a screen, like this. As I said, usually, suppose in my class, I encourage students not to use this screen. Anytime you see this, just disregard that because as you see, there are a lot of activities here, and we are not assigning any of these activities from here to you. Therefore, the question remains, how do you access your assignments? As you all know, this is CIS 114, and in other classes also, try to follow this, instructions. And as you all know, this is week 3, and these are the instructions for the class. Anytime you see something written checklist, it's something for you to read. You don't need to do anything with this checklist except just reading it. And as you see, this is another checklist. And then we come here. Here is the discussion post. I see that the students are posting excellent discussions and responding to one another, and that's great. Therefore, when you come here, as you see, it's reading. It's your book. It's chapter of your book. It's called 5.1. This is reading 5.2, 6.1, and 6.2. This is a video. You have seen it's only 1 minute video. And then here you have critical thinking challenge. I will click on that. I will show you what that is. Again, this is training. We come here. These videos, as you know, are very short. And then it is another short video. And again, you have a critical thinking and training. These are not as much, although they might look a lot, but if you go through them, you see that, they are not as much, time consuming. Here is a good one. This covers multiple choice questions, true or false. And guess what? You can try this test 10 times, which is great. That means the first time you might get 80. The second time you try, you might get 90. And I already checked 5 students are getting 900, 100. Some are getting 96, 94. Great. It's because these students are trying, that way to improve their grades. And this one is the one quiz that has 40 points. But this one, you have only one attempt. And you have only 20 minutes. That means each question takes 1 minute for you. And these questions come from these 50 questions which are here. Therefore, this grade will be saved. It gives you grade 40 points. This one will give you 100 points. And these will give you also some grades. Let me show you one of the let's say, critical thinking. When I click here, when you click there, you will get a screen similar to what I get in here. And after the screen opens up, you will click start. And then after you do that, here, there are some instructions. You come here. And if I click here, that closes this. This opens it. I scroll down. I read that. I will click continue. And then these are either you choose this one or this one. The answer is one of them. You choose this one. If it is correct, you click submit, and you will grade. It's only one question for you to read, and again I close this one and I came back to this screen, and I advise you not to use this screen. Go back in here and click here, and again you are back to where you were. And these are, as I said, the easy instructions to follow. And there are some chapter 5, you already know a lot about it. It is about how to use your cell phone, how to buy something from your cell phone, and, different, things that you already know. Chapter 6 is a kind of better chapter. I like that more because it deals significantly with safety and risks. When I come here, is that when you use computers, you want to make sure that, you are using it in a very healthy way. You have to watch your eyes to make sure because as you all know, we are using computers for during, anywhere you go, anywhere we go, they give us a job. We have to work with computers. Therefore, we have to make sure while we are using, we are not going to be injured by using computers. Some people can injure their eyes. Some people can injure their wrist. for different, therefore, and not only that, it is, the other issues, issue of, toxic electronic components. Therefore, it's very important to know about risks and safety of computers. The more you know about it, the better it is. Particularly, this is something that you want to know a lot. These are different people, script kiddies. These are some, let's say some people who try to attack, computers and steal your information. And they think that, they might be some people who are new, they just want to show off. They might not be after your credit card. They want to show how smart they are. Suddenly they, break into the system of a banking system and delete things, That means that this person doesn't mean necessarily he is after something, but they can cause a lot of damage. Imagine that someone, attacks, the computers of a bank and deletes whatever is in the system just to prove how smart he or she is. And they can do that. Some kids sit, somewhere and they have, they learn how to, program the computers, how to deal with viruses, and therefore those are one group. Another group is, hacktivists. Hacktivists, the word comes from activists. Let's say if someone is, against abortion and suddenly sees an abortion clinic there, and this person wants to do something to make sure that these people, shutting down this clinic. Therefore, he or she might go there. This person is not after making money, is not after, I don't know, it is not a cyber terrorist, it's not connected to, different mafia or something. All this person has in mind is that he or she thinks that maybe this, this abortion clinic shouldn't be here. Therefore, he or she goes and, cause problem, uses viruses and damages the computers. Therefore, that person is called hacktivist. We do have others which are cyber terrorists. Therefore, they are after terrorist activities and they use computers for their terrorist activities. What are they going to do? Is that suddenly they might do something that suddenly they shut down the, computers of an airplane on the sky, if that happens, or shut down, the system of a operating system of a hospital or something, and also there are some nation state actors. These can be very powerful because if they have the backup of the governments, let's say some, actors that have backup the governments, foreign governments, they can be very sophisticated. And sometimes they attack. Sometimes, you might have heard of, foreign governments interfering with the elections in the U.S. Therefore, they can cause significant damage to computers. And even an attacker might be insiders. What does insiders mean? You all have heard that Donald Trump now is trying to shut down some of the government agencies. One of them I read was USAID. USAID is an organization that gets it's a federal agency that has been there since 1961, 62, and gets almost $60 billion, for example, from the federal government, and goes, let's say, to Africa and, uses vaccine or whatever. Donald Trump has decided to shut down this organization and maybe dismiss, let's say, as many as 10, 20,000 government, employees, federal government. These people, or maybe in a State Department, they are trying to shut down one or two offices of the State Department. If that employee is angry, that employee can go and cause a lot of problems, because that is called insiders. I read an article that, when the presidents change, let's say a Republican president, loses elections to a Democrat, or a Democrat loses to a Republican, many people who work for the White House lose their jobs. When they lose their jobs, guess what? Because they are angry. Let's say Democrats are angry because Republicans are taking over, and these computers of the White House, guess what? They might go and delete important files from the governments because they are upset. Do you see that? Or someone finds out that they want to fire him or her. He or she works for a bank. As soon as he finds out, he goes there and tries to, violate the rules and regulations